What if love could become second nature to all of us in all of our relationships, the ones that are easy and the ones that are difficult? What if our hands moved before our egos set in? What if service felt as natural as breathing, as natural as living? There are 4 scriptures that we're looking at here this morning. James asks a blunt question. What good is faith without works, without putting our faith into action? His belief, real faith moves, real love shows up in James chapter 2, verses 14 through 17. Jesus paints a picture for us. I was hungry, I was a stranger, I was sick, and whatever you did for one of the least of these, you did it for me. Matthew 25, 31 through 46. Acts gives us structure for love. The church appoints servants to care for the widows. Word and table, prayer and food held together in Acts chapter 6, 1 through 7. And then James circles back on all of that. Are any suffering or are any sick among you? Show up with oil in person. Compassion and intercession walking hand in hand in James chapter 5, 13 through 18. So here is our big idea for today. Faith becomes visible when care becomes habitual. Serving is how our church becomes relevant and vital in our world today. I drew from a line in the Let Our Joys Be Known book, the chapter 12. It says this: Matthew 25 praises those who serve so automatically that they aren't even aware that they are doing it. And friends, that is the goal. Holy muscle memory. Let me name our Pleasant Valley story. I know I haven't been here but about 14 years. I was told by the life, 14 months, sorry. I guess it seems longer than it actually was. I don't know. But I was told by the life development team, Brian Wilson in particular, that I don't get to use the I'm new card anymore. All right? But I have actually been here, or at least been familiar with the congregation for many, many years, as my wife served, 20, 25 years ago as the youth pastor, actually. And I was part of the youth group and doing some things. So I'm fascinated by the Pleasant Valley story and everything that we have done as a congregation. And I believe that we have been living these ways for many, many years. It is who we are, and I believe it is who we plan on continuing to be. We tend the mission field. It's over there, right? It's a soybean field. So I'm not great with directions. It's somewhere around the church here, nearby, behind the cemetery. And the proceeds for that go out the door. They are given away every year. It's something that I believe started when my wife was here. We plant soybeans, we harvest them, and then we share the proceeds from that. We run the Charis Consignment Shop. Many of you are part of that and have been for a long time. It's a simple shop, but it's a steady witness in our community. Goods are recirculated and neighbors are cared for. Did you know that ministry gives upwards of $1 $100,000 away every year. Do you know that? We host the Jimmy Fortune concert coming up on December 10th and 11th, 2025 at the Community Center. I think we raise, $10,000, $15,000 a year, and the proceeds of that go to the Verona Community Food Pantry, which many of you also volunteer at on the fourth Tuesday of every month, which is why we can't have puppet practice on the fourth Tuesday anymore, I was told. So we're going to have to pick another day for the puppet ministry. Backpack Pals. Downstairs, there's a big room with a whole bunch of food and a lot of backpacks. And those backpacks are packed every single week under our roof, right next to the preschool, where we have wonderful children that are being ministered to and cared for down there. It is mixed with mercy. And 60 kids a week go home with food in their backpacks because of that ministry. Dignity is sent home in backpacks every week. We send teams after tragedy and it hits homes. Brethren disaster trips, we all know about that. Faith X journeys. Brethren voluntary service moments. We go where the hurt is and we stay long enough to help. Years, in fact. And let me not forget our deacons. Quiet saints, steady hands, faithful presence, and, cute little faces too. They carry towels more than titles. They anoint and they care in places that we never know about or see. We are the church of the brethren, and service and care is our lane in the world. God's word made deed. Our prayers turned into practices that impact people's lives. Peace made tangible through kitchens and work gloves. Now, a family story that has roots in the Church of the Brethren story, one that I have a personal affinity to. Many of you know about the Heifer Project. How many of you have ever heard about the Heifer Project? Well, for those of you that don't, and maybe those of you that do, its seed was planted by a guy named Dan West. He was a Brethren farmer in 1937, 1944, that kind of era. And he came home from refugee relief with this simple idea. Don't just send milk, send a cow. Give families a living, not a ration. A guy named M.R. Ziegler, Michael Robert Ziegler, who was actually, in fact, my great uncle, helped it take flight. He was the first executive of Brethren Service Committee, okay? And he championed this idea and connected this vision all across the world. He became a key architect and a promoter of this work. Heifer grew ecumenically, and later it became Heifer International. But its heartbeat remains the same: dignity, sustainability, and hope for people. A brethren vision that keeps feeding the world day after day after day. Our denomination still lives this way. So let me just real quick go through a few service partners that I haven't already mentioned. Brethren Disaster Ministries, volunteers rebuilding homes for survivors, Hands That Help, long-term presence. Children's Disaster Service, a number of you are part of this. These are trained teams that create safe, playful spaces for kids after disasters. They tend to little hearts while the grown-ups face big losses. Brethren Voluntary Service, how many of y'all have gone to Brethren Voluntary Service? Oh my, we need to fix that. This is year-long placements, a wonderful thing for youth and young adults to be involved in. They are out there serving for peace, serving for justice, serving for human need all across the U.S. and abroad. There's a thing called Global Food Initiative, where partners grow food security through sustainable agriculture. All of our farmers should be involved in this. And there are grants and there are projects from Africa to the Americas. Material resources at the Brethren Service Center. There are warehouses full of teams that are packing and shipping relief all across the globe. Behind-the-scenes logistics that are saving lives. Serve International. It's a Brethren-born fair trade initiative. It was actually, from what I understand, one of the very first fair trades initiatives that was happening, where they create justice through work. It was begun in 1949, before it was even a thing. On Earth Peace, equipping peacemakers and nonviolence training for teams, forming people for the work of reconciliation, the ministry of reconciliation that we are called to in Jesus Christ. And of course, FaithX, short-term service trips that meet real needs and stretch disciples. All of this is Matthew 25 with sleeves rolled up. It's not noise, it is nurture. It is not slogans or scriptures, it is service and salvation for people. So, for us, what keeps service flowing among us as a congregation? Well, first off, we just have to see what is going on. We need to ask the question, where is Jesus hiding in plain sight for us to see? Often, Jesus looks like a neighbor that we have overlooked. We need to step up, to interrupt your schedule for someone else's survival. And understand, small steps can turn into holy habits. And lastly, stay. This is something that the brethren, I think, have done very, very well over the years in many, many ways. Stay. Care that lasts, heals deeper than just a moment of ministry. And we need to remember that when we stay and when we get tired, the net doesn't break as long as grace holds it. So remember our quote today. Matthew 25 praises those who serve so automatically that they aren't even aware they are doing it. A lot of the things that I mentioned today, you were probably not even aware that we were doing it, and the Church of the Brethren is just continuing in that lane. So let's join in. Let's practice until mercy is second nature among us. This is our path forward. Keep tending the mission field. Keep stocking backpacks and pantries. Keep sending teams and forming servants. Keep singing and serving at concerts for good. Keep raising children in a church that gives itself away. And keep telling the service stories. It is our family story of practical compassion in the world. It is a picture of faith with hammers, hooves, and hope. Amen.